Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about Bayern Munich midfielder Ryan Gravenberch, who has apparently attracted a lot of interest from Liverpool Football Club recently. So much so that if reports are to be believed, reports that came out yesterday regarding his future, that maybe Liverpool are ready to step up their interest in the 20-year-old midfielder, and maybe a summer transfer move might be on the cards to Anfield going forward. We're going to be talking all about this potential deal. We're going to be talking about Gravenberch. We're going to be talking about Bayern Munich, Liverpool, a potential deal, and everything else that goes along with that. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And also get involved in the comment section as well. I want to know what you guys think on this potential news story, transfer story, this potential deal. Everything to do with Gravenberch, your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings on Gravenberch, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, everything else that goes on with this topic of conversation. I think will make for interesting reading down below in the comment section, so do get involved in that. But without further ado, let's talk about the news that came out yesterday that has inspired this video. So the Times came out yesterday and reported that Liverpool were ready to step up their interest in Ryan Gravenberch of Bayern Munich. I think that's how you pronounce his name, by the way. Ryan Gravenberch. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go with Gravenberch and hope for the best. But yes, Liverpool were seemingly ready to step up their interest. It was said that Klopp is a big admirer. Klopp's spoken about him before and said that he's a pretty good player, one to keep on your radar kind of thing. And that Liverpool were ready to step up their pursuit of him going forward. Now, obviously, we know that Liverpool are going to be looking at midfielders this summer. That's an area that they're going to heavily prioritise, especially after a car crash of a season that has seen the midfield be not necessarily the scapegoat, but obviously a big part of why Liverpool's season hasn't exactly gone to plan. Obviously, there are other areas as well, but the midfield and how it has sort of gotten older, deteriorated, and got worse over time, obviously has been a massive point the finger at kind of blame for a lot of pundits, a lot of fans, and everything else to go along with it. I was hoping that Jude Bellingham would be that marquee signing, that massive signing to not just revolutionise the Liverpool midfield and resurrect the Liverpool midfield on his own, but obviously that ship seems to have sailed. We talked about that earlier this week. We talked about how the Bellingham stuff has cooled down and everything, and how he seems to obviously be looking elsewhere rather than at Liverpool as far as his future footballing destination goes, because Liverpool put off by the price tag. In response, obviously, there's a lot of stories that have come out this week in regards to how Liverpool might be looking to spend the cash elsewhere and looking for more of a midfield rebuild in terms of a number of players rather than just the one or maybe one or two. And there's been several stories that have come out. There's been several stories of interest, shall we say. A lot of midfield targets apparently floating around that are being linked with Liverpool as speculation continues to grow as we near the end of the season and obviously the summer transfer window coming up. These stories are going to start popping up, and especially when you consider that Liverpool are going to be known for going after midfielders. They're going to be known to try and strengthen their midfield. We know that a lot more midfield options are going to be linked with Liverpool. So do try and obviously look out for what might be just for clickbait and what might be actually genuine. This one seems to be a bit of genuine. Obviously, it's reported by the Times, so it's fairly reliable in that sense. Everyone else seems to have kind of picked up on it as well. A lot of people have kind of picked up on this as well. So this one does seem to have a little bit of weight behind it than it normally would. And like I mentioned, the obvious big point of this is, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've watched Gravenberch religiously. Like, I've not watched him religiously. I've watched bits of him. I've watched parts of his game. I've seen obviously highlight montages and reels and stuff like that on various sites like YouTube and stuff. I guess you'd say read some stuff as well, heard some stuff from some people and everything. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a massive expert on this guy, and I know every in and out of his game and everything. But from the little bits that I've seen, he looks a fairly decent player. He looks like he's got a bit about him, and he's got a bit of versatility, and he's got some kind of key elements that I guess Jurgen Klopp would like, and hence why he's claimed he is a big admirer of his. So I think there is obviously something to this transfer. But obviously the big point about this transfer is that it's affordable. For FSG, it's affordable. Bellingham fell through, supposedly, because FSG were not willing to pay the price, the salary, and the agent fees and everything else that goes along with that in terms of a big transfer for him. But this represents more of a realistic possibility for them. A more realistic kind of... a proper FSG transfer, shall we say. Sell for not that high of a price, someone that maybe you can turn a profit on later down the line, although given our recent transfer business, we've not really done that. So, but the overall price fee, the fee stated is more affordable, more realistic as far as what FSG are concerned. That price tag, by the way, is allegedly in the region of £25 million. Now, whether that's going to obviously happen or not remains to be seen, but £25 million for this type of player who is 20 years of age, got plenty of time to grow, can still get better, looks a fairly decent player as it is, seems a pretty good bargain. I have got issues with it, as I'll go on later on in the video, but like I say, for £25 million for a 20-year-old midfielder, fairly decent for right now in the present, can obviously get better in the future. Looks to be a good ball carrier. Looks to be pretty aggressive at times. Looks to be a pretty big force in the air. Someone took a few free kicks as well, so he seems pretty decent from a set piece situation. Like I say, ball carrier, versatile. He can play as a number 6. He can venture forward more as a more advanced midfielder, more box to box. He seems to have that versatility about him that midfielder that is a bit of an all-rounder can and should have. He seems to be a really good fit for a Jurgen Klopp side. Good engine, good back and forth. I genuinely have, from what I've seen of. From the little bits that I've seen of him, from the bits that I've read about him, and from diving in a little bit more detail into him, he does seem like the kind of typical Jurgen Klopp style midfielder. If you know what I mean. Like I say, all of them good characteristics kind of all come to the fold, and that is I assume why Jurgen Klopp is a big admirer of his. My concern. Look, I've got a couple of concerns. Number one, this guy's only spent less than a year, I believe, at Bayern Munich. Obviously, a lot has happened at Bayern Munich, and we'll get onto that a little bit later, but this guy's spent less than a year at Bayern Munich and has failed to break through. Now, I know that is a tough midfield to get through. The likes of Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka, just to name a couple, obviously is going to be very tough opposition for when you're a midfielder. But, again, I think we should have probably seen more of him than some of the... I think he's made 18 appearances in the Bundesliga this season. Again, so we may have seen more of him if he's that good. Obviously, before it was Julian Nagelsmann, now it's Thomas Tuchel. Again, that seems to me like Tuchel's either come in and said he doesn't want him, or there's something more to it. Because... hear me out. There's like for a 20-year-old who's apparently got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of ability right now, but it's raw, bit of a diamond in the rough kind of thing. If Tuchel come in and just said he doesn't fit my system, I don't want him, fine, fair enough. He might be like that diamond in the rough where he's at a bad situation, you can take him out of it, put him somewhere else, and he's going to shine. I get that. If you're looking at him from the other angle, Bayern Munich have him till 2027. That's when his contract runs out, till 2027. Why is a player with so much time on his side, a lot of ability, a lot of raw ability, with a lot of that can turn into a lot of potential, Why is he going for 25 million? That's the question and concern I have. Look, you can argue about he's not Premier League proven. That's always going to be a gamble. I get that. I've done that argument time and time again. My biggest concern for this one is, why is he going for such a cut price when he's got 4 years left on his deal? He's got 4 years left. Now, the majority of the time when we talk about a player with 4 years left, we normally talk about a team that's looking to hike up the price, hike up the overall package to sign that player. My concern is, why is that? Why is he going for a cut price of 25 million? Do Bayern need the money? Probably not. Are Bayern just looking to kind of sell some players and shift them on? Perhaps. Like I say, it was Julian Nagelsmann at the beginning of the season. It's now Thomas Tuchel. Maybe Tuchel's looking to change things. Maybe he doesn't like him. Maybe he doesn't suit his style. And he's seen that. And maybe it's best for both parties to move on. Maybe that is the case. And like I say, if that's the case, fine, fair enough. This 25 million thing is an absolute bargain and a steal for Liverpool. But my concern is that I don't think it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's anything more to it than meets the eye. I don't know if anything has gone on behind the scenes. But if this is obviously to all be true, and 25 million is going to be the fee for this guy, why is it, in my opinion, a pretty low transfer fee, considering all of the players that we've known in the past that have had plenty of years on their contract to go for big money, plenty of players with raw potential, raw ability, with top potential, go for massive amounts of money. I'm a little bit concerned as to why this guy is going for it. I understand why Liverpool are going for it, because obviously it represents a cut price deal, 25 million, a player for the present, the future, can obviously fill in versatile different positions, can obviously has the qualities in that midfield area to cover a variety of roles, be different, be something that's fresh, a fresh face in that dressing room, an absolute engine, box to box, ball carrier, ball winner, all of that kind of good stuff is obviously what he's been known for and has done, whether it be his time at Ajax or whether it be his time at Bayern Munich. My concern with it is, why is it 25 million? Maybe some of you lot will know and tell me down in the comment section as to why maybe this is. Maybe he's a known trouble causer. I have not really seen anything to suggest he is, but maybe there have been stuff that has gone on behind the scenes. Maybe there's whispers and rumours. Maybe there's something that's come out recently as to why this is. Or maybe, like I say, this is just Thomas Tuchel getting a bit of a clear out and wanting an idea of what his Bayern Munich side is. And maybe Gravenberch just doesn't fit with his criteria, with his style. And if that's the case, fine, fair enough. Liverpool, I think, will continue their pursuit of him. And I think overall, it seems on first glance like it might be a very good deal. Might be something to look forward to going forward. He's not really known as a goal scorer or a creative type of player, more of an industrious kind of midfielder, the kind that Jurgen Klopp likes. And I will hope that if this obviously does pull off and everything, that we will go after a more of a goal-scoring and creative midfielder going forward. Like I say, there's been a lot of links. We've got Declan Rice has apparently emerged as a link. Whether that will actually come off or not remains to be seen. I don't necessarily think it will, but again, one can hope, like we did with Bellingham. Mason Mount, obviously, that seems to be a top priority of Jurgen Klopp. Really likes him. An industrious midfielder with a little bit more creativity, I guess you'd say, but obviously, again, there are some question marks over his overall ability and his overall consistency and his overall output that I think a lot of Liverpool fans will find themselves concerned with. And there are other targets as well, and I'm sure there are going to be more that emerge going forward as journalists try to get their clicks and their likes and stuff surrounding Liverpool Football Club, knowing that, of course, Liverpool will be pretty busy, or should be busy, in this upcoming transfer window, especially when it comes to that midfield position. But yes, those are just my thoughts on Ryan Gravenberch. Like I say, I'm not completely against this. From the little bits that I've seen and have heard and have read, I think he looks a fairly decent player, a bit of a diamond in the rough, bit of raw talent mixed in with a bit of potential, which is something that I think Jurgen Klopp would like to sink his teeth into. But I just have a bit of a concern over why the price tag is as low as that for a player that, like I say, has a bit of ability about him, a bit of potential about him, and at the same time, obviously, very young, has a lot of years left on his contract, but is going for this kind of price. That's just my concern on it. But those are my thoughts, my comments, my opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on this topic of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Ryan Gravenberch and his potential move to Liverpool in the summer? A lot of interest from Liverpool. Like I say, they're said to be looking to step up that process going forward. I'd love to know what you guys think, your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and Ryan Gravenberch, and all of them all together. That could make for interesting reading down below in the comment section. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always very greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see you all again soon in another video.